Man, we got another comic review today, and rather than a Marvel and DC book, we're going to talk about an Image book, and that is Mercy. This was sent to me by my friend Chris, who sent it to me in the Indie Hall a while back. I just finally decided, you know what? I've looked at this comic, just seeing, just kind of like sitting there, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to finally sit down and read it. And read it I did. Now, Mercy is a self-contained six-issue book, written, drawn, and colored by Marika Andolfo. I hope I'm saying that name right. Basically, their whole thing is these very vibrant colored anime style, almost anime style of artwork that doesn't feel like when most people are trying to do like an anime kind of art style in their comics, it sometimes feels really inauthentic, and I really feel like they're just it's trying too hard. But Andolfo's artwork is actually, it feels fluid enough where it does have that anime flair to it, but at the same time there's this level of vibrancy that kind of keeps it from being too anime ripoff. I think it's also the writing as well that helps. So, the writer, Marika, I cannot pronounce Andolfo's work also includes, like, they've done artwork for, like, Harley Quinn, and another book that I want to read from Image called Unnatural, which has been told to me that it's like a magic, hornier version of Zootopia. Which, when someone gave me that description, I was like, gross. But also, tell me more. I think Chris did say he was going to send me that. Anyway. I think Chris did say he was going to send me the complete set of that. I think there's only 3 volumes and a spin-off. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. So, let's talk about Mercy. What is Mercy? The best way I can describe this comic is Little House on the Prairie, I guess you could say, like, Little Women meets The Thing. That's the best way I can describe it. I was trying to think of it like a better Western, or like frontier kind of story to go with, but I don't really have a lot up there. So, I was like, and it's very female focused, so I was like, the best I could do is like Little House on the Prairie. It also it has like a twisted level of family values, so it's kind of apt. So Little House on the Prairie meets The Thing. That's the best way to describe this book. Basically, it centers around several characters, but our main focus is a young orphan girl named Rory, who encounters a woman she believes to be her mother, known as Lady Helene, who has arrived in the town not too long ago on her own little mission with her butler, Goodwill. But in this town of Woodsboro, there's a creature called the Devil of Woodsboro who has been hunting and eating the people in the town. And several members of that town have connections to this event that led to the release of the Devil of Woodsboro in the series. This also kind of culminates into it's brutal, it's beautiful, it's a interesting story that kind of like has all these elements that are told in no less than 6 issues. I gotta hand it to a story that can tell like a whole ass story and not need like a spin-off or something or anything like that can be told in 6 issues. I wish more TV shows could do that without, wanting to milk the farm even more, but hey, I would say this would be a cool like 6. This easily could be like a 6-episode miniseries you would see on like HBO Max or Netflix, and then it would be so good that they would have to milk the farm so many more times, and then it would completely suck. But anyway, this comic is not for kids for a multitude of reasons. It's beautifully brutal. That's the way I can describe it. Is that it has a beautiful level of brutality in the artwork. And I don't know if I can show you anything like that. There's also like a purity to it of the young girl Rory, gravitating towards Helena as her mother, as adopted mother, while this creature inside of her, which they kind of banty of like, is it from another world? Is it a demon? Is it from hell? But it's almost treated like a symbiote that's using her body as like a pilot in this very interesting tale of vengeance. Towards this other family who is dealing with their own demons as well. no one's really a villain here. Like, there's no... What I like about this... Well, there is one guy, but he gets eaten real fast. There's no real villain in this comic. Like, everyone is very complex. Everyone has, like, reasons for what they have done. And even the monsters themselves have, reasoning behind what they're doing. So all of... there is no real, like, villain in this comic. There's antagonists, sure, but, like, sometimes you're rooting for Helene and the monster inside of her that she is, and raising this small child. But then you also have other characters in this series that are treated as, in their own complex way. There's multiple storylines going around, and Andolfo really knows how to spin some plates in, like, 6 issues. That's actually, like, very impressive. The comic, I wouldn't say depressing, but it is beautiful and sad at the same time. It has this beautiful, like, dark melancholy sadness to all of it. There's also... The book's also horny as hell. In the first issue, you're seeing, like, a woman get double penetrated. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but, it's not like the sex is here for, you know, just showing sex. It's not, the sex is here to show, like, to help illustrate that this woman is almost like a praying mantis or a Venus flytrap that's, like, luring people in to, like, eat them. So, yeah, it's a solid book. It's not for the faint of heart, I will give you that. This is a solid, it's almost like it's a Western Lovecraft story. It's like a family story, a family drama told in the vein of Lovecraft. Like, that's the best way I could describe it. It's a family story in the Old West if it was written by H.P. Lovecraft and without, you know, the racism involved. But yeah. So I highly recommend Mercy. This was a solid comic. I can't believe it took me a while to get to this, but I wanted to read it because I was like, it was sitting there and I was like, I have this urge to read it, and I was just flipping through the book and I was like, yeah, I'm going to read it now. So I kind of ripped through this pretty quickly. But I highly recommend it. Anyway, so Chris, thank you once again. I know you're watching, brother, so thank you again for that book and the others, as well as whatever comes next. Can't wait for the next haul. But yeah, if you've read Mercy, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.